It's time now for the Athlete of the Week, and it's presented by Diamond Point and Sauk Center. And with us today is a Melrose girls basketball player. This is Maci Blommel. Well, Maci, we'd like to start out and talk about your family. Who's in your family?
My mom is Robin Blommel. She works at Mail Corporation in Sartell. And my dad's Glenn Blommel. He works at Stearns Electric. And then I have a sister named Maddie who goes to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Okay. How did she end up out there?
She wanted to get away from the small town of Freeport, so she headed out to Milwaukee, and they're a really good nursing program. So, yep. She started her first semester this past semester, so like this winter.
All right, real good.
Yep.
Any other activities that you're involved in here at school?
I'm the president of the National Honor Society and a representative of the Student Council.
All right. What kind of activities are involved in that then?
A lot of volunteer work and a lot of like planning school events like Pet Fest and the days of the week and stuff like that for Student Council.
How did you get going in basketball?
I actually started out in gymnastics when I was really little, and then my sister got hooked on basketball. So I think in like 4th grade I decided I'll try it out, and I just fell in love with it. I've done it ever since.
And what about volleyball?
I started volleyball, and then I decided I wanted to be a swimmer instead. But then I decided swimming was not for me, so at that point it was a little too late to start volleyball again.
Okay.
So.
You know, as you develop yourself as a basketball player too, just maybe advice for the younger players too. What kind of advice do you give them as to what they should be working on as you now are a varsity player?
Definitely working on dribbling. Dribbling is a #1 key everybody needs. Even if you're a post, dribbling will always help you. And then always work on your shot because that always helps. But for me, I worked a lot on defense when I was little. And defense is probably one of my strong suits in basketball today, is you just have to know where everybody is and you have to predict a lot about what people are going to do.
Clap hockey to Blommel. Charges to the basket, puts it up with the left hand, and it goes in a basket for Maci Blommel. Melrose by 10. Graves has it on the far side. And Blommel getting post up and through 3 girls. She goes up and still puts it in. Big basket for Maci Blommel. Double figures for her with 10. 3 girls on her. She still scored. It's all about position too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you try to do against a player that's so you're going against me? What are some of your thoughts, or what are you doing with your body to get in position?
Well, as you always know, you have to get a foot and a hand in front of somebody, but mostly if they're pushing on you, I just kind of let them push and just step around in front. Just try to always get in front and like don't work harder than you need to necessarily.
You know, with your Melrose girls basketball team, when it's going good out there, can you describe just what is happening out there and you're saying to yourself or as the team, we're playing pretty well right now. What's happening?
As a leader, I know I have to keep our mentality and focus straight. We can't let the lead get ahead of us, so it's definitely trying to keep the girls on task. But once everybody's hitting shots, you just kind of have to have fun. That's the main part, just have fun.
The mental side of it is something that I'd like to touch on in this sense, that when you know you're going against good teams like Eden Valley Watkins you played, against Sauk Center, you know this is going to be a challenge tonight. What is your mindset with that? How do you overcome a good team like that as opposed to a team that you think, well, I know we can handle these girls?
I think I just go out and I play to my fullest potential, and I try to do everything right that I can do, and definitely help the other girls, because playing teams like Sauk and Eden Valley, you know, it's just all mental game. You get in there and you know they're really good, and you kind of just let it get to your head, which you kind of have to stop that for some of the girls, and some girls are worse than others, where I'm just kind of like, I just have to focus on me and do what I can do what's best to help my team.
Kind of lead by example then too, right? Do you do a lot of talking out there with others?
Yeah, I'm pretty close with a lot of them, so I try to help keep them calm and tell them to just have fun.
Okay. I'd like to try to do something here with you. Just ask you a series of questions and maybe have a little fun to where you complete the sentence, okay?
Okay.
All right. So if I put on your headphones before a ball game, what am I listening to?
Throwbacks.
All right.
Good throwbacks to like 2010.
Okay, I don't understand that. You'll have to explain it to me.
Well, I don't know.
What kind of music is that?
Like, I don't know any of the songs off my top of my head, but Like Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus or the Black Eyed Peas song. I just listened to it yesterday, but I can't name it. But
Do the girls play music in the locker room?
yeah, that's a lot of like high beat music.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Country?
No.
Rap?
Some. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my mom and dad listen to, and I like it, or I can't take it anymore.
My dad loves like old Western country songs, and I hate it. I don't like it.
Okay. So when the team gets together and you're all singing out loud, what song are you singing? Do you do that on the bus or?
Not really, not that often.
Okay.
But
all right. After a Friday night game, I am so hungry for.
Ice cream.
All right.
But only vanilla or mint ice cream. That's it.
Okay. When you're out with your friends, we like to go to where?
The movies, or we go to Truckers a lot in Sauk Center.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay. Who are some of the girls that you hang out with?
I hang out with Abby Henning, like off the team too.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
sure.
Abby Henningkamp and Lexi Fredericks, Taryn Van Heel, Avery Bitts, a lot of the volleyball players.
All right. Say, as you mentioned, Avery, how's she doing?
She's doing good. She has another surgery coming up, but
Does she?
Yeah, she tore her meniscus again.
How'd she do that?
She fell on the ice.
Oh my goodness.
So she has surgery again, I think on Monday, but she's hanging in there. She's walking, so that's good.
So then I take it softball is right out then.
Yeah, she can't do
Oh,
softball.
that's too bad. Okay. Well, this player or players on the team really cracks me up. I think she's crazy.
Probably Whitney Ousting.
Okay.
She's definitely always one that'll make you laugh no matter what.
Yeah. How would you describe the personality of your basketball team overall?
We love to have fun. We joke a lot, and I don't know. We just kind of laugh a lot about really weird things.
Mm-hmm. So when you get together with your friends and you're going to watch a movie, what movie have you watched over and over?
Probably any type of romantic comedy movie. We're typical girls, I guess.
All right. So when it's cold in the winter, you like to do what?
Probably watch Netflix or play with my dogs.
All right. Do you go fishing, skiing?
I don't fish. My dad likes to fish. We live on Kings Lake, so he fishes there a lot, but I don't fish.
And then when it's hot in the summer, we can find you doing what?
Definitely outside tanning or on the lake.
Okay.
Yep.
But again, any other activities? Golf, biking, hiking?
Me and my sister like swimming on the lake, like competitively swimming actually, like across the lake and back. But otherwise, we bike sometimes. But.
Okay. What percentage of your life where you just curl up with a good book?
Like to. I don't like to read.
Okay. All right. How much time is spent on your cell phone?
In a day, probably like a fifth. I don't know. I'm not on my phone that often.
Yeah. Now, do you use Twitter? What do you use social media?
Yeah, I use Twitter and Instagram mostly. But
okay. And communicating with who?
I don't know. I just kind of like to see what people are up to doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm a pretty decent cook at.
Oh, geez.
Do you do any?
I like pancakes. I make really good pancakes, but I don't really cook that much. My sister loves to cook.
Okay. And then you had a disaster making.
Let's see. One time I tried to make my dad these mushrooms because he loves to make mushrooms, and I just completely like fried them to a crisp. Something didn't work.
Okay. So during the school year, do you have a job?
I do. I work at the Freeport private or Catholic school, and I work as like an after-school daycare person for kids after school.
Oh, okay.
So I only do that during the fall and the spring, because then in the winter I play basketball.
And doing something like that, what do you personally get out of that?
Enjoyment. I love kids, so I just love playing with them and having them around. But
So after high school, any kind of plans?
I'm going to the University of Wisconsin lacrosse to end up as an occupational therapist.
Is that right? Now, how did you decide on that? What took you down that road?
Well, in 10th grade, we had to do like a careers unit at school, and it kept popping up as one of my options, like what you could be or what you'd like your scores come out as. And so I job shadowed there one time, and I just fell in love with it. And now it's just, I want to help people, and I love to be with people, so I thought it'd be a good idea.
As we wrap it up here, describe to us why going to Melrose High School and then playing on the girls' basketball team it's been really good for me.
Just a group of people at Melrose, I just really like them. We're all interacted, and we all love to like support and help people. And then that carries out through basketball. Like, our teams are always really supportive of each other. And growing up, I always had girls like Emily Gert and Justine and Gabby Sawyer to help me throughout when I was little, because I was moved up as a 9th grader to play varsity, and they were always there for me. But it's just a really big supportive community. So.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and it's been fun watching
Thank you.
play. All right.
Thank you.
That's Maci Blommel. She is the Athlete of the Week, and it's presented by Diamond Point in Sauk Center.